My name's Emma Douglas. I'm a senior lecturer in the Learning Disability Nursing Department, and I started using Blackboard Collaborate about 5 years ago. I module lead one of the nursing practice modules, so there are about 33 learning disability nursing students who could be placed anywhere in the southwest of the country. And the feedback from students was that they wanted to be engaged with the university whilst they were on placement, and they wanted to feel connected with each other. So I started using Blackboard Collaborate every 3 weeks whilst they were on placement. We do an induction session to Blackboard Collaborate as part of the Nursing Practice 2 module right at the beginning when we introduce the module. That helps to give the students an idea of what it looks like, how they need to set up, what equipment they need, and also they can see what it looks like, so it takes some of the fear away. And then on the day when we're using Blackboard Collaborate, the room, I think we open at about 9:30, and we always start at 10 o'clock. So the students know at 10 o'clock we promptly start the session. The attendance has been amazing since we've been using Blackboard Collaborate. I normally always get 100% attendance, so the students seem to like that connectivity and have you there to ask questions to and to get immediate responses. So when I start the session, I will start with an introduction, something light-hearted, just seeing how people are, and then I will go through the aims and the structure of the online session. I then do a 10-point question using polling, and that really helps for a couple of reasons. It helps me know which students are engaged with the session, and maybe if some people are struggling with the IT, then Michael, the person who helps me with IT, can support those students. It also helps me to see how many students have learnt and engaged with the material we've used in the previous session. After the polling session, I usually do a 20-minute didactic teaching session on whatever the topic is. 20 minutes is ample. Students quite like 20 minutes because they can relax, sit down, and they can listen and engage. But after 20 minutes, the feedback I've had is that actually it's hard to keep looking at a screen and concentrating. So after a 20-minute session, we then use breakout rooms, and we use breakout rooms normally for 45 or 50 minutes. During the breakout rooms, the students have already pre-selected their own groups, so they're working with people that they feel confident and comfortable to work with. When they access a breakout room, we normally have 5 students in each breakout room. The students will enter the breakout room, and on the whiteboard they will see either a case study or a scenario or a problem related to practice, and they have to then explore that scenario and feed back their responses by looking at literature, by discussing, by problem solving, and then they have to write up their feedback. We use a shared Google Doc for the students to write up their feedback, and at the end of the breakout room session, those documents are imported back into the main Blackboard Collaborate classroom, and the students will come back to the main classroom. One student from each of the groups will verbally feedback their responses, and then directly, and as that's happening, I will give feedback as to whether there's anything they've missed or maybe they could have considered, or I might make reference to literature if they hadn't included the references, and we do that for each of the groups. The breakout rooms for me are the best bit of Blackboard Collaborate, and I think they're the most enjoyable and engaging bit for the students, because the students feel that they're connected to other students. They feel that they can contribute to a piece of work, And actually it's been amazing the work that the students have produced whilst they're in the breakout rooms. And some sessions, I think the work that they create in a breakout room is actually probably a better quality than what I would have seen in a classroom. And I think the reason for that is that when they're using Blackboard Collaborate and they're in the breakout rooms, there's no other distractions. They're not talking about what they're having for dinner tonight or what's on telly. They're focused on the task in hand. I usually make the piece of work in the breakout room quite substantial, so it's one piece of work and it's about the quality of the feedback and the responses rather than the quantity. And I give them enough time, so in that time they can have a comfort break or go make a cup of tea, so it's not time pressured. And 5 minutes before the end of the session, when we bring in all the students back into the main Blackboard Collaborate classroom, I will go round each of the virtual classrooms, the virtual breakout rooms, and let the students know that they've got 5 minutes left.